Good morning and welcome to the GDFL Netball Show for round 14. Joining me on the show today we have Donna Francesi from the Anakie Netball Club. Welcome, Donna.
Good morning, Fiona. How are you this morning?
We're going to have a bit of a chat about your game.
Will. Yes, it was a great game on Saturday.
Absolutely, yes. Last weekend, and probably not what we expected, but anyway.
We were happy with the draw, put it that way, Fee. We were very happy with the draw.
Not a problem. And Amanda Hanley from Belpost Hill Netball Club. Welcome, Amanda.
Good morning, Fee. Good morning, Donna.
Morning, Amanda.
We'll have a chat about your game as well, but not quite.
Not yet.
Yeah, that's it. Firstly, we'll have a look at Inverleigh 53 defeated North Geelong 28 in the first game. And I thought that we last week had a bit of a chat about this being a little bit closer game.
Yeah. Didn't we say this one might have been in the round, the clash of the round, did we think?
One off. Yeah, I think we thought there were going to be a couple of close ones, but North Geelong, Amanda, any outs there that we probably...
No, it looks like they've had their normal 7 they've been running with for most of the year. Hayley Burgess did play in the goals for North Geelong. Lauren Birch was named on the bench, and so was Kelly Parker. But yeah, Judy, Carey, Brooke, normal lineup for North Geelong. So great effort in Inverleigh.
Absolutely.
Awesome performance from the young junior Katie Gardner in the goals. I think she shot 40-something goals for the game.
Yep, that's very
so
good,
she's getting stronger and stronger every week. So
well, they were up by 13 at half time. They'd come away with, what was it, a 25 something goal.
And I think this is the Inverleigh that we were definitely talking about last year, saying that they're a young team, but they've definitely got the potential to do this to some teams. So.
And, you know, Karen Arnell and Kathy McHenry, they really strengthen that side. They're fantastic, really strong centre court players for the Inverleigh team.
Yep. The next game we're going to have a look at is Werribee, third on the ladder versus fourth now, I think, East Geelong. 52-26. Big difference between...
52-56 was it? What was it?
52-26.
Okay, that's right.
So Werribee got up 52-26. So I know that we did pick Werribee to win, but there's a big gap in the competition there.
Yeah, it looks like East Geelong have tried sort of every combination they could come up with. You know, Shay Rowbottom was in goals early, came off in the last quarter for Erica Shippers to go in there.
Yep.
How many girls did they have there, Amanda?
They've had 11 named on the bench.
Yep.
So they've got a really, really strong squad. Maggie Smith played in goalkeeper.
Yep.
So it's a good indication of how far away I think the top 3 are from the rest of the competition.
Any ins in the Werribee team there?
We do have an interesting inclusion for Werribee this week, being Olivia Mitchell for her first game for the year.
Yep.
Where's she from, Amanda?
She's a Werribee girl. She played for Werribee last year.
Yep. She definitely played in the grand final and everything, but this is her first game, so played 4 quarters. Yeah.
So what? What do you think? They're bringing her back to qualify for finals? Can she qualify for finals, Fee?
Yep, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she can.
Or maybe that's one to take up for Winch, do you think? Do you think they're sort of like doing that to sort of come on even ground with Winchelsea?
Yeah, I think they're looking at how they can be as strong as they can be. Given I think I'm 100% sure that Olivia plays for Hume with Danny Stewart.
Yep.
So I don't know, I'm not sure if their finals are finished or not, but obviously she's available and they're going to try and qualify her.
Something we'll keep a very close eye on over the next few weeks. The next one, Belpost Hill 63 defeated Belmont 17. Big win up at the Hill Girls.
Was there anyone out for Belmont, Amanda?
No, not that I was aware of.
There wasn't.
No.
That surprises me that it was that much.
Belmont have been playing some really good netball, and I know fighting for that 5th position there. So
first time we've had a full squad for the last couple of weeks.
So they had Sonanu, Casey, Elise, everyone was in for you guys?
Yeah, full squad. So the girls are really excited by that, given the opportunity for the last 2 to 3 weeks that we haven't had a full squad. So I think that's a good indication that Belpost Hill are definitely in that top 3.
Yeah. Well, I think from now on, Amanda, you're going to have to try and get most of your team in, aren't you? Sort of like coming up to finals, you need more practice. You know, the better for you guys.
Of course, of course. You know, as much court time as everyone can get is beneficial for the whole team.
Yep.
Very good.
And the next game, Bannockburn 42 defeated Corio 25.
Another one we thought might have been a bit closer than this, didn't we?
Yep.
I think we picked Bannockburn.
I think I tipped Corio.
Yeah, you would. So I think we picked Bannockburn. We did. Yeah. So any outs for Corio there, Amanda?
No, looks like they've got their full squad. Michelle Rizakis played. They rotated 4 goalers through, so Abby Barshan, Michelle, who else did they rotate through the goals there? Christy Marsh, and there was one other I saw.
Yeah.
No, it might only be the 3. But yeah, Marley Primer played also. Bannockburn their defence must be really, really good. Big mention to Jess Kennedy. She had a great game in goals for Bannockburn.
And Jess Shaw played a really good wing defence game too, so good luck to them.
Yeah. And the next game, Winchelsea 82 defeated Geelong West.
Fair, you got the goss on this one.
Hey, look, Fee, 25 goals. I think that's perfect.
And we had one of our main shooters down in defence. We had so much fun with this game because...
So did your defence go to attack and end up shooting more goals than you attacked?
No, we still had some shooters down there. But we had Robin down playing actually against Rachel Leader, who, again, Winch have had 2 GFL players come over.
So they brought up 2 GFL players this week?
Again. So Rachel Leader and Carly Post both played, so they're both from Red West.
Yep. Right. Hang on, Fee, Red West.
Yep, so they're the Roosters. They play
Aren't they
GFL.
your sister company? People, players,
you'd hope so. They definitely have an advantage on that court because that's their home ground as well.
I think for most people out there watching the information that we're giving week to week about Winchelsea, Rachel Leader and Carly Post have now played 3 games.
Yep.
For Winchelsea and only required to play one more to qualify.
And that's a full game though, Amanda, 4 quarters, isn't
that
it?
Is right,
4 quarters.
Donna.
And they did play 4 quarters against us. There was absolutely no need
to do that.
It was top versus bottom on the ladder, and
But once again, as we said, it comes in. Like we had the interview with Jason a couple of weeks ago, girls, and we sort of put it to him, you know, why you don't bring your players up from other grades. Like, you know, there's that situation again. Look, whether it's right, whether it's wrong. Personally, I don't think, you know, I think they should be pulling from lower grades, but everyone has their opinion and I suppose they're doing what they have to do.
Yeah.
So no Renee Pilkington this week?
No, Amy Worth was back this week.
Yep, first appearance back for quite a period of time, and they had only the bare 7 with 2 B grade players, Rato Hunia and Cheryl Lee Warren on the bench.
They didn't take the court though. So, yep. And the last one that we're going to have a bit of a quick mention about, Thompson 41 drew with Anarchy 41.
Yes, they did, and that was quick enough. Let's move on.
No.
Oh,
1 minute.
okay.
1 minute to
1
get
minute.
this out.
Well, look, good game, girls. You know, credit to Thompson. They come out from the beginning. They were like a you know, bullet out of a gun. Bang. They hit us really hard. I think the girls were a bit shocked with that. And in saying that, look, we had a couple of players who didn't play their best game on Saturday, and they know who they are. And we were 5 to 6 goals down that last quarter, halfway through. And credit to Anarchy, look, that they stepped up, and it was really exciting in the end. And in that last few seconds, it was coming Thompson's way, and we're thinking, oh, here we go, we're going to lose this one again, you know, by the skin of our teeth. But the bell went, and you know, everyone came in with a draw, and we're happy to take the 2 points.
So how's that going to sit you come finals? I know you.
Well, that just sucks, doesn't it, really, Amanda?
You're going to make
well, spot. Now what are we, six points out or something? With
makes it more and more.
It's harder. It's going to be harder. I mean, the girls will fight, right up until the very end. We'll just see what happens.
And I think it's a good indication of how much Thompson have improved this season, and they are the big improvers this year.
But we've talked about that all season, haven't we? So, they're going to have a great season next year.
Absolutely. Anyway, we'll be back after the break with Matt Armstrong from Belpost Hill.
We are the Raiders from all around your lawn. I'm here to tell you how football is strong.